Good morning again. As I stated, my name is Selena Ackham. I'm the Work-Based Learning Staff Specialist for K-8 schools for Baltimore City. If you haven't done so already, please take time to drop your name, the teacher's name in the chat, as well as the school and the class that you are representing, so that we can shout people out as we go along. Just to share our norms for the day, we just ask that everyone be present. Make sure that you're paying attention. We did share some tools for staff to share with students, just note takers and things, just to ensure that if you are interested or if you need the information captured somewhere, those can be found in our Google Drive. Please be respectful and stay on mute. If you have any questions, please feel free to get those into the chat. We'll do our best to make sure that we monitor the chat consistently and ensure that we are getting your questions answered, and just have fun. This is an opportunity for students from K through 12 to explore our different career pathways in CTE, but also get insight on our different markets and industries and workplaces. So if you have any questions or if something catches your ear, please make sure to drop that in the chat so that we can acknowledge it. So really quickly, our agenda for today is to give you a brief overview of the education programs of education, where you can find education-based CTE programs in Baltimore City Public Schools. And then we have 3 stops on our tour. First, we'll be at Mergenthaler Vocational Tech School in their ECE lab. Then we'll shoot over to Towson and speak with Miss Molly Mee, who is representing the early childhood program, and then go and speak to Mr. Nash at We Shall All Rise, which is a program that helps young men of color join the education programs. We also have a time slot at the end for questions and answers. Ms. Dorsey?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So under the educational pathway for Baltimore City Schools, as you see here, we have 2 programs. We have the Early Childhood Educational Program, as well as TAM, which stands for Teachers Academy of Maryland. And students participate in 90 hours of certification in human growth and development. And then also students can work in a childcare center upon graduation with their certification, okay? And then with the TAM for Teachers Academy of Maryland, it prepares students for further education and careers in the education profession. Students are eligible to take the Para-Pro exam. So for many of our students, if you love working with children, it does not just have to be inside of a classroom, but if you have a love of children, this is definitely one of the pathways that you will want to enroll into.
Ms. Dorsey, can you just share with us where they can find ECE or TAM in City School?
Yep. Is that on the next slide, or do you want me to just say them out loud?
Yes,
okay.
Ma'am.
So for ECE, we have them at the marvelous Mervo High School, which I'm at today. And then we also have it at Carver Voltechnical High School. And then we also have it at Emerson Westside High School. And both of those are in West Baltimore. And Mervo is in Northeast Baltimore. And for our Teachers Academy of Maryland, that program is located at Patterson High School, as well as Western Senior High School. So just keep in mind that Western is an all-girls school. So just wanted to let you know that.
Thank you, Ms. Dorsey.
You're welcome.
And just so you have the opportunity of seeing that, ECE is at Emerson, Mervo, and Carver, and TAM is at Western Patterson. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one.
Nope, you have them all there. Western and Patterson, TAM, and then Emerson, Mervo, and Carver for ECE.
Perfect, thank you. So we are gonna stay right with you, Ms. Dorsey, and head over to the Early Childhood Lab at Mervo. Please tell us all about the lab, who our instructors are, if we have students. Let us get a full view of what is going on at Mervo.
All righty, so I am live here at the marvelous, simply marvelous Child Development Center. So let me share my thing. Let me flip this around. So I have Miss Fields here. Yes, Miss Fields said I'm putting her on the spot. But you know, when we work with children, we're always on the spot, right? So I have Miss Candace Fields here, and she is one of our instructors for the early childhood program here at Mervo. So Miss Fields, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the program here and the ECE pathway?
So hello, everyone. My name is Ms. Fields. I am the 10th grade and 11th grade instructor here at Mervo for the early childhood program. So with myself, I graduated from Coppin.
Okay.
With a degree in early childhood. I have 3 masters in early childhood.
Okay.
And I've been at Mervo. I am a graduate of the program here at Mervo.
Okay. Okay. So she's giving back to her school that she came from. Absolutely.
And Miss Chapman, I don't know if you know, but Miss Chapman was my high school teacher.
Oh, wow. So her co-teacher here, and then I'll hand over to Miss Chapman in a minute when she comes back in the room. Miss Chapman was actually her actual teacher while Miss Fields was here at Mervo, and you still look so young. You're like one of the teenagers, Miss Chapman. So tell us a little bit about the program. What does the ECE pathway prepare students for, or what do you go over in your class?
So for us, our students can either own and operate their own childcare centers once they leave. They'll have the basic knowledge in order to go to college, to pursue early childhood education. They also can work in a childcare center. And any other field that involves children, we take them on field trips to like Kennedy Krieger and things like that, where they can see other career pathways that are in early childhood that deal with children.
Okay. So you heard Miss Fields say she has a wealth of knowledge in the early childhood field. She pursued her 90-hour certification, which is the early childhood certification, as well as matriculated through college as well. And then she came back to give back to Mervo. So what are some of the certifications other than the 90-hour certification that your students receive? What are some of the other certifications that your students receive while they're in the program or once they've graduated?
So our students have the opportunity to leave with their 90-hour certification plus 9 additional certifications, which would be SIDS and supporting breastfeeding and medication administration. One certification that we do is not a mandated one, but we do mandated reporter training.
Okay.
So they get that certification.
So these are what I didn't mean to cut you off, but really quickly. So these are most of our audience here, or we have one high school here, I believe, and then we have some elementary or middle school students. So what is actually a mandated reporter, just so they can know?
So a mandated reporter, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So a mandated reporter is a legally obligated person to report suspected child abuse or neglect, any maltreatment or any misconduct towards a child. That is a training that you'll go through of how to identify it and how to properly report it to authority.
Okay, which is very important when you're working with children, right? Which is very, very important. So if you could say something to our future educators, because we hope that everyone on this call today will pursue the field in education, whether it's through the ECE program or our Teachers Academy of Maryland, what advice would you give them with getting into the program or any tools that help you to make your decision to get into the field of education?
I would definitely say examine yourself to make sure that you really like working with children.
Yes.
Don't look at it for what money you can get from it, but look at it to see like what you can actually do for a child. And then everything else comes with that. But if this is something that you feel like you could really help children, then this would be the pathway.
Okay. So I have so you see Miss Chapman, can you wave? So Miss Chapman is here. Miss Chapman is one of the co-teachers. Miss Chapman, how long have you been here at Mervo?
I've been here since 2002.
Okay.
So what's that, 21 years?
Yes, 21 years. So what made you get into the field of education, Miss Chapman?
Actually, as a teenager, I worked at a camp.
Okay.
And I did that for 2 summers through youth work. Something else, baby.
Okay.
So I worked at this summer camp for 2 summers, 11th grade and 12th grade year,
Okay,
and I enjoyed the experience.
okay,
So when I went to Coppin, I decided that I would work with the younger children, and I studied early childhood education.
okay. So you heard Miss Chapman say she started off in youth work. So for some of our middle schoolers that are on here, hopefully you got that application into youth works. And if you choose to, or may have been picked to work at a camp, she started off, like she said, working at a camp. So I am going to introduce you to some of Merville's talented students that are in the program. So I'm going to ask, this is our 11th grader here. So she's finishing up her junior year. So can you introduce yourself to us?
I'm Caitlin.
Okay, so this is Caitlin. Caitlin, can you tell us why you chose to go into the early childhood pathway here at Mervo?
Well, I always wanted to be like a teacher or like work with children. So I just wanted to like put myself in like a position that I could get like experience.
Okay, okay. What have you enjoyed the most about being in this pathway?
Being creative. You gotta like be creative when you work with children,
Okay,
and I just work with them and helping them grow and learn.
okay. So what are some of the things that you do or where you're allowed to show your creativity with the children? What are some things that you work on in class?
Art project.
Okay,
What else? You like do drawings like every single morning.
okay. Yeah.
We do bulletin boards.
They have some marvelous bulletin boards here at this school, you guys, and all of the students put them up, and they are definitely bright and attractive. Okay, so even though you're in the 11th grade, what are your plans after you graduate from high school?
I know I want to go to college.
Okay, okay. Are you thinking about pursuing a career in education? Okay, do you want to be a teacher, or is there something else in education that you want to participate in?
A teacher.
A teacher? Okay. Well, thank you, Caitlin, and enjoy your summer. And we're looking for you to be successful in your senior year. All right. So now I have another one of Merville's graduating seniors here. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Hi, my name is Akaya. I'm a senior here at Merville.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Today is
Seniors.
actually my last day.
Today is her last day, guys, and she came in just for this interview for Miss Dorsey and for Miss Fields and Miss Chapman. We are so special. Okay. So why did you choose to go into the early childhood pathway?
I chose early childhood education because I just love working with children. Like I've been working with children since I was 10.
Okay.
So I always knew that was something that I wanted to do.
Okay. What were you doing with children at 10? Do you have sibling babysitting? Oh, that's where it starts, right? That's where it starts out. Okay. Okay. So you said you've been working with children since you were 10. So how has this pathway impacted you as a young adult thinking about going into the early childhood field? What positive impact has it had on you?
The positive impact early childhood education has had on me is definitely the opportunities that I've had.
Okay.
One of them being having the opportunity to work with a partner school.
Okay.
Friends.
Oh, okay. So what were you doing at Friends School?
So I work there now. Like
Okay.
I'm currently an employee now.
Oh, wow.
I'm a teacher's aide. I work with infants and toddlers. And I just love being there. Like I get to branch out.
Okay.
Because here we are working with preschoolers.
Yes.
So at Friends, I get to work with even younger
Yes.
ages, and I just love everything about it.
Okay. Okay. Yep. And so what are some of the certifications that you are graduating with? So the more certificates or certifications that the students have, it makes them more marketable. And for some of our younger students, marketable means it makes them, it allows them or opens up more opportunities and definitely more money. And we know most of our students, you love money, but what are some of the other certifications besides your 90-hour certification that you're graduating with?
Okay, so besides my 90 hours, I will be graduating with my 9 hours communication.
Okay.
My ADA, SIDS,
Okay.
Developmental screening, medication administration, and the current model training.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All righty. So we're waiting to hear, what are your plans? I know you said you're working at Friends School. And so what are your plans once you graduate?
So that's something I love to talk about.
Okay,
So,
where are you going?
my plans after graduation,
Okay.
I will be attending the illustrious Coppin State University. Early childhood education.
Okay.
Because when I graduate, I want to open up my own center. I want to
Okay. Yeah, so she wants to be a center director. And I think maybe her teachers might have had a little bit influence on her with that Coppin, considering they both graduated from Coppin. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We wish you all the success, and we want to definitely give back to your underclassmen and come back and speak. And definitely, we are so proud that you already have something lined up at Friends. You're already working at Friends, and you're still gaining more experience in early childhood. All right. So, Miss Selena, I don't know, did you want me, or do we have time for me to go over it so I can just show them one of the childcare lab?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we actually have, let me show you this. They actually have a student that are here. They're actually working on the bulletin board. Do you guys see these? Say hello. I'm putting them on the spot. All right. So this is our childcare lab para, Miss O'Bannon. So here we go. We have some of our friends here. As you see, for those who may have siblings or ever been in a childcare center, it's set up just like a school that we have for the older students, but these are for little people. So these are preschoolers. Friends, you want to say hello? Hi, hello. Yep, Miss O'Bannon. So we have some younger, we have some middle schoolers. Oh, and they are making a project for Mother's Day. Miss O'Bannon, for some students who may want to come into the education field, any advice that you would want to give them?
The advice I would like to give them is you must love children.
Yes.
In order to work with children, and it has to be something you want to do.
Yes, definitely. It definitely has to be something you want to do and have a love of children. So just panning, you can see over here, we have the housekeeping area, we have the library, we have the drama center.
The children made their own shoe shelf.
Oh, and this is a project that the students put together, and they made their own shoe shelf. And Miss O'Bannon, this program here at Mervo, your students in the early childhood pathway, they gain experience by working in the lab here with the little people. So what ages do you guys cater to?
2 to 5 year olds.
Okay, 2 to 5 year olds. And you guys have been around for how long? How long has the lab been open up?
20, 30 years.
Right. Okay. All righty. So thank you all for visiting with the Simply Marvelous Child Development Center and our instructors and our teachers here over at Mervo.
And we do have openings.
Okay. They do have openings for little people. So if you know you live in this area and you have siblings or family members and you're looking for childcare, support your local Baltimore City Public School Childcare Center here at Mervo. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dorsey. Now we're gonna go flip over to speaking to Miss Molly Mee, who is the director of, I don't want to get it wrong. So Miss Mee, I'll let you go ahead and introduce
Okay.
yourself. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Molly Mee, and I am a professor at Towson University in the College of Education. And actually, I'm here today to speak to you about the Teacher Academy of Maryland. So if I understand this correctly, there's a lot of elementary school students in the audience. Is that correct?
Elementary, middle, and mainly students who will use this information to inform their high school choice.
Great. Are you all waving at me?
Yes, they are.
Hi. It's great. Hi, it's great to see everybody. Thank you for the big waves. I'm just here to talk to you really quickly, just a minute or two, about if you are interested in becoming a teacher, you might want to consider, once you get into the high school, to enroll in the Teacher Academy of Maryland program. And what that is when you're in high school, you will take 4 classes. And the really cool thing about those high school classes is that they're really more like college classes. So if you're interested in going to college someday, you could take these classes in high school. And when you get to college, you might be able to get college credit for those classes. And those classes in high school will help you prepare to become a teacher someday. So they're really fun classes. We have really great TAM teachers across the county or the city for you. And so if you wanted to go to either Western or Patterson, you would enroll in a Teacher Academy of Maryland class. and you would take these 4 classes. And then when you go to college and you think you might want to become a teacher, you would get college credit. So you don't have to want to become just a classroom teacher. You might want to be a teacher, a counselor, a principal, a school nurse, a school psychologist, maybe even just a teacher assistant. So you have a lot of options for you if you decide to join the Teacher Academy of Maryland, which we also call TAM, T-A-M, Teacher Academy of Maryland. Does anybody have any questions for me about that?
I don't see any questions in the chat right now, but I do have a question.
Okay. Oh, and I
if
see
you-
a hand in Miss Wyman's room. I'm sorry, Miss Acom.
Oh, no problem. Thank
Yeah.
you. Go ahead, Ms. Wyman.
Miss Wyman is muted. Yeah.
So sorry about that. I didn't know I could come unmuted. So one question I saw a student write down was what do you mean when you say you can get college credit in high school? So that's something new for them because they're used to thinking, of course, college is college, high school is
Right.
high school. I noticed that you also said that you could or you possibly could. So are there only certain colleges that they can then go to use those credits?
Great question. Thank you for that. Whoever asked that question is definitely very smart and should be a teacher for sure. So yes, if you go through all 4 courses in the TAM program in high school, when you go to college in the state of Maryland, there are some colleges who will give you college credit. So let me explain and give you an example of Towson University. If you take the 4 TAM classes in high school, and let's say you decide you want to go to Towson University, where I work, and you want to study to be a teacher at Towson University, Towson University will give you 3 credits, college credits, when you come into college. So when you enroll at Towson University as a college student, you come in with 3 credits, which is 1 college course already completed. So you have already entered college as a freshman with 1 course, kind of 1 course already. And not only that, but you also will get a scholarship. You will get $1,000 a year if you are enrolled as a education major at Towson University. So you get a college credit, 3 credits, and you get $1,000 a year. Now, as far as other universities go, your TAM teacher in the high school can help you with that. There are other universities in the state of Maryland that do offer this, but we would have to reach out to those schools specifically. Does that answer your really good question?
I believe it did. Thank you. And their ears perked up when they heard scholarship and money. So
Yeah, money, money, money. Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions for me?
We have a couple more. Hang on. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever been a teacher? Like
Yes.
but you said you teach at university?
Yeah, so let me just explain real quickly. When I went to college, I did not get a major in education. I chose a different career path. And then once I was in that career for a few years, when I was in my 20s, I decided I wanted to become a teacher. So I went back to college and I got my teaching degree. And I did teach middle school language arts for many years. And then I decided I wanted to teach teachers how to become teachers. So then I went to another university and I got another degree so that I would be able to work at the university level. So that's what I did.
Okay, Ariana, hang on 1 second.
While we wait for that question, Ms. Mead, can you share with us a little bit more about Towson, where it's located?
Sure.
some great
Sure.
facts about the university.
Sure. Towson University is located right outside of the city. We are, if you kind of head out York Road, you will get to Towson University. So we're sort of suburban, which means you'll see a little more green grass and smaller buildings and things like that. And we have a very beautiful campus. It's a pretty large campus, lots of students. We have a very, very good College of Education. And when I say very, very good, I mean that we produce the largest number of teachers in the state of Maryland. So I bet if you walked around your school, you might find a Towson University graduate teaching in your school. So we are a large university, but we also feel like a small university. So if you're concerned at all about going to college and maybe not being sure if you'll be successful, we at Towson University do so many things to help our students become successful. You'll really get to know your professors. You'll have clubs and activities and lots of help when you're working on your schoolwork. We are the oldest university, we are the oldest school in the state of Maryland, or let me start over. We are the original teachers college in the state of Maryland. So if you go way back a couple hundred years, we started teaching teachers way back then. So Towson is a great university. It's something that you should consider. And I'm happy to answer any more about that or help out with that at all.
Ms. Drummond's asked a question. We can do hers next, and then we have a couple more for ours. So someone in her class said, what made you really want to be a teacher?
That's a great question as well. I really wanted to become a teacher because I was in a job where I really didn't feel like I was doing good things for society. And I liked my job. I was working in marketing and public relations and communications, and I liked it, but I really wanted to be able to do something that I felt made a difference in the world.
Okay, and then from our classroom, one live question was, do you like working with children or adults better? Teaching children or teaching grown-ups?
I love both. I kind of love everything except for ages 0 to 2. So after they're 2 years old and they can walk and talk, I'm good to go. But I love both. I just like working with people in general.
So Ms. Mee, what would be some skills for our young learners that are watching right now, or even our class over at Franklin, that they can work towards and or see if they have right now to make them a great educator?
Yeah. Well, if you're wondering if you want to be a teacher, I would listen to what people around you say. So if you have that talent and desire for being a teacher, people will tell you that and you will notice that. So do you like helping your friends with their homework? Do you like leading group meetings? Do you like being in charge of maybe a project? So those are all things that are really good characteristics of teachers. So if your parents or your relatives or your friends have ever said, boy, you're really good at working with others, then that's a sign that you might be a good teacher. You also have to want to really like it. So you have to really want to like helping people.
Perfect. Thank you for that. We do have one last question in the chat from Ms. Drummond's room. What made you choose Towson University to be a professor?
Well, I really like the people at Towson University, and I really like the College of Education there. And I love that we have such a strong and successful program at Towson University. So, and I also just really love working with the college students at Towson. The students who come there are really hardworking and dedicated students. And I'm going to answer Ms. Wyman's. Yeah, these are all great questions. Ms. Wyman's class asked, when did I start working there? 2006. So I've been there about 18 years. And am I still a teacher? Well, I'm a college professor now. But I will tell you that everybody is a teacher. So if
Mhm.
you've ever helped a friend with a project, or if you've ever taught your younger siblings or cousins how to tie their shoes or construct a puzzle, then you're a teacher. So if you've ever taught somebody something, you can consider yourself a teacher.
Thank you. And the last question.
Sorry, I also have one more also. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll go to this chat question and then we'll get back to you, Ms. Whitman, really quickly. Does Towson only teach people to be teachers? That's from Ms. Drummond's class, or can you
No.
speak to other majors at Towson
Yes.
University?
Do you want to be a computer engineer? Do you want to be a scientist? Do you want to be a business person? Do you want to be a nurse? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a lawyer? Whatever you want to be, we will help you with that at Towson University. So it's not just for teachers.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Ms. Wayman.
And then I had a student ask, was it for admission or in general? Okay, I'm gonna also tag on admissions to that. So what is the average or the expected GPA of a student who wants to enter Towson in the teaching programs, like their high school GPA? Do they have to take the regular, like the SATs and the ACTs, those college admissions? And then what is the required GPA to remain in the program?
That's great. Good. Who
We
are
have some students with eyes on the prize. So that's
who
key over
are you students? I need to get out there. Oh, is that okay? Yes. I don't know the answers to all of those questions, but I do know that in order to become an education major and stay in the major, you do need to maintain a 3.0 GPA, which is a B average. That might sound difficult to some of you, but at Towson, we do really have a lot of individual attention, and we will help you maintain that GPA. As far as admissions to get into the university, I can't really answer that question. It really depends on your whole package. You know, you might have a 2.7 GPA, but you might have really high test scores or something. So the university really just looks at your whole package before they admit you. And I think you're going to learn a lot about that when you get into high school, and your teachers can help you with that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mee.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support that you have given our CTE programs as well. If you are interested in CTE and go into one of the programs, I believe Patterson and Western was just at Towson a couple of weeks back.
Yep.
So you'll definitely get to see the different programs at the universities around the city of Maryland. Thank you again for all your support. I will say, Ms. Wayman, if you could drop in the chat, and if you have not done so already, your teacher's name, the school that you represent, and the class, so that we can get some of this information back to our guests who are interested in knowing who you all are. And if our guests are interested, please share your information for anyone who is possibly interested in communicating with you later on. Right now, we're gonna head back over to Mervo really quickly with Ms. Dorsey.
Okay, so I also wanted to ask Miss Dr. Mee if the younger grades are able to tour Towson Education Department. I know our ECE programs toured it, but wanted to see if they do tours for the younger grade levels as well. If
Yes,
Dr. Mee,
if you want to reach out to me or somebody in the College of Education, and I can help you with that. Absolutely. We always invite all students everywhere to come see our campus.
and I think you have some information there. The teachers are putting it in the chat.
Yep, I see that. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Ms. Dorsey, you ready?
Yes, yes. So I forgot to show you an important project that concludes the student's senior year over here at Mervo. So wanted to just kick it back to Ms. Fields really quickly so she can share one of her students' archives that they have collected over the years while they have been in the program. So I'm kicking it to Ms. Fields. Let me turn my computer. There we go.
Hello again. So the student that got on earlier, Caitlin. So our students at the end of their 12th grade year, they all complete or they all will have a portfolio. So even though Caitlin is still in the 11th grade, she still does have, as you see here, she does have accumulation in her portfolio already.
This is her portfolio book.
So here our students write reflections of each of their years here.
Okay. So
They
she's done a
also-
reflection of her sophomore year.
Yes,
And then what are some of the things that are included in the reflection piece?
So in a reflection, they talk about 3 activities that they liked or that they learned the most from.
Okay,
So
okay.
they'll do that. Students also have to keep a copy of their most current report card
Mm-hmm.
inside of their portfolio. Their COVID vaccination card.
Okay,
Our students also have to include 3 letters of recommendation
okay.
from their teachers.
And these, what is the purpose or why is it good for them to collect letters of recommendation from their teachers?
So their letters of recommendation are character letters. So as we explained to them, these are great ways for you to see how your teachers and your school community view you as a student as well as a person.
Okay,
So in here, they talk about good behavior, they talk about hard work, what things, even if your teachers write that you're improving, that still shows that you are putting forth the effort to be a great student.
okay.
And these letters are also great for the students to be able to see what things they may need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a teacher will not write you a letter, then you had that conversation, what things can I do to improve
Yes.
so that you can get the letter.
Okay.
Our students also include their certificates and their certifications. So Caitlin did get this one from her working field trip at Kennedy Krieger.
Okay.
As you see, they
Caitlin had perfect attendance. Attendance is great. For some of our students that are on, little people, they love consistency and they love routine. They don't want to see a different person every single day. So it's very important that you come to school because they love to see your face on a regular basis.
Absolutely. So this here is from Basic Health and Safety. This is from Child Care and COVID certification. The mandated reporter certifications is 3 of them that they take.
Mhm.
This is for dealing with special needs children.
Okay.
And this is the 9 hours communication.
Okay.
This here is the center information. So this is where students really get to show their own personal creativity of what they like to do.
Okay.
So here Caitlin was able to design her own classroom.
Oh, cool. So if she had an ideal classroom or what her classroom would look like, then she designed her own classroom here.
Then our students do lesson plans. So this is for art.
Okay. And what is a lesson plan for someone who may not know?
So lesson plans are teachers' ways of showing other people
Mm-hmm.
what they're going to do in their classroom, what lessons they're going to do. So I always tell my students to write their lesson plans as if somebody else is going to teach it for them,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's very detailed.
Okay. Okay. Similar to what your teachers do with you every day in the classroom now.
Absolutely. So this is for art. This is for science.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is a math one.
Okay.
Science here is a tornado in the bottle.
Okay.
Music and movement.
Okay.
We did freeze dance.
So do you give them topics and have them to write a lesson plan on there?
So
On
our
it?
students, we give them the subject. So
Okay.
we give
Okay.
them art, music, and then they pick what they would
What
like
is it to do? Okay, so that allows you to use your creativity. So if you know that you are one that likes to use your creativity, this is definitely a pathway for you.
Absolutely. And our students get to take these lesson plans over into the center
Okay,
and do them with the
with
children.
the little people,
Yeah.
yes.
So this is if she created her own center, she did her own
Oh, she
newsletter.
made a newsletter as if she worked at an actual center.
Mhm. Her permission slip.
Mm-hmm.
Then here we did recipes. So these are great nutritional activities that she would like to do with the preschoolers
Okay.
in any setting. We did bibliographies because it's very important that you help children with literacy and reading to them every day.
Yes.
So they created a list of their favorite children books to read to children.
Okay.
We did finger plays. and we include those. Songs to sing to children and to
Okay.
teach them. One of our favorite activities is handwriting.
Oh, okay.
So we teach our students how to do Zainab Bloser handwriting. And they have to put a sample. Here is one of our favorite activities. So our students get to pick their own nursery rhyme
Mm-hmm.
and they get to create their own,
like puppets.
their own
felt board.
felt boards.
Oh,
Absolutely.
cool.
So this
Okay.
is there and they act them out. So she chose Hey Diddle Diddle.
Okay.
And our students make she makes all of their own, they make their own pieces
Oh,
to
wow.
to do their flannel board activity with the children.
Okay. Okay.
We also do puppets. So they make sock puppets and bag puppets.
Okay. So question for you while we wrap up so we can go to our
Mhm.
next host. How long does it take for a student to complete this portfolio? Is it done throughout their years? And
Yes.
okay, so it
we
starts in
start
10th grade.
10th grade.
Okay.
And they finish the employment section with Ms. Chapman in
Okay.
the 12th grade.
Okay.
So they put everything in here, their bulletin boards. And it's just a great way for when they go on interviews
Right.
for employers to see what they actually
They
can
did
do.
while they were in the
Yeah,
class.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Miss Fields.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
sharing that. Thank you, Miss Selena, for allowing us to come back on and to share that portfolio and the work of the students here at Mervo.
Thank you, Ms. Dorsey. And we're staying with you because we are going straight to Mr. Neal and we shall all rise.
Thank you, Ms. Dorsey. It's Mr. Neal and Mr. Nash, and Mr. Nash is going to lead us off. I'm following his lead in this conversation. Mr. Nash.
So good morning to everyone. I hope everyone's having a great morning. I hope this has been an eventful time for all the adults and students that are participating in this great activity this morning. I'm Mark Nash. I'm the Chief Innovation Officer with We Will All Rise. I consider myself to be a lifelong educator. I spent 30 years in education, working just various positions, as a teacher, assistant principal, and principal in various school systems. So I have a love and a passion for education, and it's just a pleasure to be here to speak a little bit about the organization and just the importance of education, and then also, I'll speak a little bit about why it's so important for us to try to get more students of color into the education field and leading in classrooms. So, Mr. Neal.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nash. My name is Mr. Neal. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of We Will All Rise. Ms. Dorsey, how much time do we have? I know we have a call at 10, but we want to make sure that we get students in to answer questions. I'm just trying to figure out if I should keep my intro to a minute.
So Miss Acom, I will probably keep it to a minute. Miss Acom, they have till what, about 9:50?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Great. All right. So we have 6 minutes. So let me try and push through real fast. We Will All Rise. We support specifically Black and brown men around college completion, giving them scholarships, mentoring, and the like. And we have a specific focus where we partner with universities to get more Black and brown men in education. We also provide scholarship for those young men who want to do that work. And we operate in multiple cities across the country, but our home base is here in Baltimore. And I noticed Towson University was on earlier. We have a strong partnership with Towson University, and we provide scholarship to young men in our program to that university. Mr. Nash?
Yeah, so Mr. Neal, briefly spoke a little bit about our work and how it relates to the actual field of education, because we are in there supporting men of color while they're in college, through the scholarships that we offer them, our mentoring that we offer them, and then also the professional development and workshops that we also offer them. I see someone has their hand up, or they're just stretching. Oh, okay. And so one of the things, we have a couple different programs that we have. We have our program in Milwaukee. It's called MK Rising. It's an early exposure program to get young men, just to expose them to careers in education. We also have our Free Mind Collective, which is another one of our programs where we support young men in college that can, have any major that they decide to pursue. And then we have our Belief program, in which it's an early exposure program. And then we also support young men that are in college that are interested in pursuing careers in education.
Okay,
Some-
okay. Go ahead.
Mhm. Go ahead, Ms. Dorsey.
I was looking at one of the questions that was here already. So one of the instructors asked, is We All Rise only for young men?
Yes, I was answering the chat just now.
Oh, okay.
We have a specific focus on Black and brown young men, particularly because the graduation rate is so low. College completion rate is around 34%, and so we try to boost that to get more of us on the pathway to careers and long-term economic mobility. So.
And so some of the things that we look for in terms of the young men that we support and we bring into our program, we're not looking for the young men that are the top of the road scholars. We look at the middle of the road young men to bring into our program, because we know that, life comes with its challenges. And so everyone's not going to be that A+ student. So we want to make sure that, our program represents the vast majority of students that, are your higher performing students. And then your students that, might be a C average or what have you. Also, some of the things that we look for in our students, we're looking for our young men, we're looking for individuals that are motivated, that are hardworking, that bring a high level of enthusiasm and want to build fellowship, not just within the program itself, but within the community as well.
I see Mr. Neal dropped in the chat the website for We Will All Rise, sorry. So anyone who is interested in learning more can definitely go check that out. But can you give us a little bit of information on the mentorship and early exposure program in 6 to 12?
Yeah, so the early exposure program is that, we just did a campaign, our Black and Brown Men Teach, Real Men Read campaign, where we were able to get into some of the elementary schools and just show students there a love for reading and literacy, and show and highlight the Black and brown men that are within our programs. So, for 6th and 12th grade, we definitely want to be able to still do we want to do a early exposure component where we're getting into the middle schools and high schools and talking to students about careers in education. We're also looking to do a mentor program as well in the middle school, which has a focus on, building character development skills. And then also part of it is just, again, exposing kids or young students to careers in education, what it's like to be a teacher, and not just only a teacher. What we want to make sure is that, we have individuals that are in the career field of education that can have touch points on students. So you don't necessarily mean you have to be a teacher. You can be a social worker, a school psychologist, or what have you. We just want you to be able to have an opportunity to touch the lives of the students that look like us every day.
So I think what I hear you saying is that We Will All Rise focuses on making sure that there's representation in our schools in Baltimore City, and you work with colleges and high schools. Hazelwood has volunteered. They said that they need you over there with them for next year. Can you tell us more about why you picked We Will All Rise, and what is it like? Do you have numbers on how many males, Black and brown males, are currently working in education, and why is it important?
So right now, in terms of education, so men of color in education represent 5% of teachers nationally. And what's even more dismal is that only 2% of that number is Black males. So just 2% of Black males represent the teaching workforce nationally. So there is a sense of urgency to be able to increase the pipeline of men of color that are going into the field of education. I mean, there's multiple reasons why, and a few of those reasons are, just being able to make those connections with the kids that look like them. Also, there's been research that states that men of color have a positive influence, not just on Black children or children of color, but on all children in general. And I'm sorry, Miss was that Miss Selena that was talking to? Can you
Yes.
repeat the other part of that question? I'm sorry.
Oh, they wanted to know why you decided with the name We Will All Rise. And I think it's kind of connected to what you said.
Mr. Neal, you can speak a little bit about that.
It's connected. If you think about sort of rise, there's the typical image of Black and brown men not being brilliant, not being capable, which is absolutely false. Mr. Nash and I worked together for well over a decade, and we've mentored brilliant, beautiful young men doing great things in the world. And our vision is that if we invest deeply in those that society often puts down as negative, our entire communities and the world will rise because we believe in unleashing the brilliance of who we are. And so though we're focusing on Black and brown men, the vision is that it will impact all of us, from our communities, our families, parents, or loved one, our neighbors. And so the vision is that we want to welcome everyone, but we're going to invest deeply in those who need it the most, because we believe the brilliance is there.
And I just saw in the chat that Mr. Lyons over at Hazelwood Middle School said they have all men in 7th and 8th grade. So that may definitely be one of the schools that you guys want to partner with. But Mr. Neal and Mr. Nash, isn't with the Real Black Men Read, isn't that one of the schools that you guys partner with and read to the students over there?
We were at Windsor Hills. So I'm glad, and we have a meeting right at 10 to continue following up. Hazelwood is the other school that was just mentioned.
Yes, okay, okay.
Please put the information in the chat. We are eager and willing to talk to and partner with as many schools as possible. What you see on the screen for all the students, it give you a sense of some of the work that we do. This is us going in and reading to the little ones, so that it's a real fun activity that we do. But we plan to do various activities across the year, mentoring programs for Black and brown men, and so the opportunities are there, and we're happy to share. And it's specific for young men at Merville that may be in the early childhood program or any other of the high schools. Please consider applying to our programs as you get ready to go on to college.
Yes, and I will definitely share that information with them. So if there are any, to close out, because I know you guys have another meeting to get on, to close out, what are some of the qualities that you look for or that you can stress to our younger students or to our students that are here on this call today that will make them successful in the field or pursuing a career in the field of education? Or what advice would you give?
I would just say, follow your heart, follow your dreams. Teaching is a profession where you have to have a love for it. You have to have a love for it because there's so much that's involved with it. It's not just about going in and being able to put together a solid lesson to keep students engaged. There's so many different parts to it. You're not just a teacher. Sometimes you're a parent. Sometimes you're a social worker. Sometimes you're a confidant. So you got to be comfortable playing all those different roles. But one of the things is that you have to be serious about school. You have to you got to make sure that you're attending school on a regular basis. You have to make sure that you're conducting yourself in a responsible manner, and you have to make sure that you're studying and that you're able to keep your grades up. All those things count as you get ready to transition from middle school into high school and then high school into college. So you want to be able to create a pattern of just having a work ethic of just, I'm working hard, I know what I want, and I'm gonna achieve it no matter what.
Thank you guys so much. You, Selena, if there aren't any more questions in the chat, and I definitely want to thank our partners from We Shall All Rise for joining us on this call today and speaking to our younger students and students of Baltimore City Public Schools. So I'll kick it back over to you, Selena.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Dorsey.
I'm sorry to interject before Mr. O'Neill and Mr. Nash leave. Our students wanted to thank them, so.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We do not want to forget, I know we said it in the very beginning, but I want to say it again. Thank you to our teachers. Ms. Dorsey and I are very, very grateful that you all logged on today. We appreciate you. I know that sometimes that it gets hard out there, but we just wanted to make sure that you know and highlight to your students all the work, dedication, and passion that you have for education. I think that was a tone for today. You have to want to do this job. And I always say that teachers are not created, they are born. So thank you to our teachers this Teacher Appreciation Week and every day. Thank you for everyone who joined us this morning. And we hope that you got as much as you could from this information. If you have not done so already, drop your teacher's name, the school, and grade in the chat, and we will see you next time. Remember, today's a double header. We'll be back in about a half an hour with culinary. Have a great day.
Thank you.